Hello and welcome back to Oak City. This is our Plains and Prairies episode 44. Today we are here with what is going to be our biggest harvest month yet. So we have turned around right off the bat, have picked up 2 new combines. They do match our other 2, so that puts us up to 5 altogether, which should hopefully be enough to get us going. We're going to have hundreds of acres to do this month. We have the 300-acre field alone down there. So we'll just kind of take a look at the map here real quick. And as you can see, it is full of orange. Just a sea of orange. About half the fields out there. 7, I think, all told. We're going to have some new crops that we haven't touched yet at all that we are going to get a chance to harvest this month in the poplars. So that'll be a new one, and we're just going to kind of let the sun come up a little bit more before we get involved in that. So we're going to grab the new combines here and head those out to the field. Obviously we have a lot of fields and a lot of workers to get started, so we're just going to jump right in and get going. And this is going to pull out of there decent enough. Get it done there. Turn. We don't really need our field lights on. Good news is we don't have too super far to take this one, but we'll get it around the corner and get started in the field there. Turn around and get this hooked up, and we can get the first one working. I anticipate this field is going to take quite a while. That's why we are off to start at 5 in the morning this month, just getting everything going, as should take quite a bit of time. Oh, that is close. Alright, there we go. Unpack you. Good there. Fire that one up. Lower that down here. So I suppose we are not gonna turn around and straw swat this one. No way. We just have way too much straw. We could definitely do it, and obviously always extra money, but I think we're just gonna turn around and drop this one. That way we don't have to mulch it. Alright, and we are just going to turn around and send this one. I anticipate this is going to yield. Let's look at the yield bonus here quick before we say too much. 97% yield bonus off a field this size should come out obnoxious. Gotta take a little bit of a ride along with it here. Hop in there. Nice clean interior on these. And always nice when you have a brand new combine out in the field. This is just gonna take, I mean, as you can see, you know, the size of the combine is all relative to the field. You know, in some cases, absolute huge machine. Yes, we have the unrealistic numbers on it, or we'd just be stuck out here field chasing the entire time with ones like this, and it'd be so hard to get multiple things done. As you can see, I mean, it's just going to take a lot of time. So we'll turn around and jump over, grab the other combine, I think, and bring it to help get this one going. So get this bagged up here and get the head hooked up. Go. No. Let's tuck in the tongue on that. Drop the head down. Turn this on so we don't mess up any of the crop in the process of doing. However we're going to do this, I think really we'll just get it started here. This one we're going to turn off. Turn off all the headlands. We're just going to go up and downs with this one. And then we're going to send it. See, this one still has not even gotten down one side of the field yet. Already at, yeah, 22,000 liters. So, right, we'd already be dumping this and we're not even down one swipe of the field. This should be a pretty good money-making field. We're definitely going to have the options to do whatever we would want to with oats. Though oats are pretty much just good, I think, for hogs and horses. So probably not going to be doing much with it other than, I mean, I suppose we could always grain it or something, you know, turn it into flour or something like that. Definitely going to have a lot of oats one way or another. But getting this field set out too, this is going to be our canola field, I think, next year. No doubt about it. But we have plenty of fields to get working. Let's go turn around and jump, check on this guy. Yeah, he's just blazing a path right down the middle. Look at that. 5,000 liters already. And he's barely up and running. That's going to be crazy. Crazy amounts of oats coming off of this field for sure. But let's turn around and we'll go find another field to get harvesters up into, as we have plenty of them to get working. Swiping in for the header here. Be a nice, ooh, respect that one a little hard. Turn around, drop it in for the canola field here. Going to be the last year on canola for this field, at least for a while. We did end up running back-to-back canola on this field. So that's going to be it for a hot minute on this one for sure. Though it does do a decent job for canola, but we have bigger plans for next year for sure. And we're just going to send that from here. Hopefully it's going to do its thing. Get a little picky about where it wants to start from. Never happy with where you put it, even though it goes right back there most of the time. You jump over. This field is kind of cool. Looks like you're starting off with a next to nothing small little field here, and then you kind of crest the hill and bam. The other one I'm looking forward to here, you know, new this month is going to be the grass field. There you get a good chance at watching the head work there. Laying down the canola. Turn around, and the new grass field extension out here should be pretty cool. It looks kind of cool as it's rolling through the field, so that was going to be a nice little ride along, as well as a new start, which we do have both grass fields to get done this month. Just a lot to do, a lot of acres to cover. Turn around, go take a look. Yeah, nobody's running into each other over there. Things are going good. Still not all the way around the hedgerow. Just working its way. A lot to do. There we go. Good look at the canola field here. Nice. Fun little field with the rocks and all. Our rock island up here. Rock island field. Yeah, why not? There we are. There's Rock Island as we speak. Good looking field. I guess we can take a look at our yield numbers here before we start eating up too much. 90%, so we will probably be throwing lime on that one this year. Going to be a lot of lime to go around, that's for sure. I suppose grass we're going to have to start up here. We still have quite a few more fields and quite a few more harvesters, so I guess we will just jump on to the next one. We are just going to be pulling out. Whoa, there's the poplar field. That's cool. Yeah, never actually seen done poplar. That's groovy. Yeah, now the sun's coming up, we can actually get in there. We are going to take out the pea harvester here, or the vegetable harvester first. Dry that out. See another one of the combines, still working the hedgerow there. Plenty to go around. I bet you that thing has a ton on board. I think these ones are slightly slower. My guess is, I think the original, the first one of these that we had a bigger engine in it, because I think they go a little faster. It'll be interesting to see how this one works. I don't think it did any kind of engine upgrade on this, so I think it's just like a stock, completely stock engine upgrade, which we may have to fix. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that goes. It's definitely not super fast, this. I guess I didn't realize it was this slow, but you know what it does, what this one does, it makes up for the maybe a little slower speed by what it pulls, you know, that's for sure. So not complaining. If anything, we could do an engine upgrade and get it around a little faster, but we have plenty of them. They don't really need to go that fast. Alright, there you can see the new pea field out here. The first time anything's worked in this field. Gonna be nice to see how this goes. 97% yield, so that should pan out decent. I think everything is ready to go. Headless, yeah, we should probably, oh, whatever, it's just gonna run one. If it's just gonna run one, we're fine. Let's just run one. Drop that down and see how this is gonna go. First time out here. There we go. New machine, new field. It's all new. I do like this machine in this color. It's gotta be my favorite color out of the group, that's for sure. Vegetable green. Now you can see the head doing his job nice. And we should get a decent yield bonus out of this for sure. A decent yield. Not even about the yield bonus. I guess the only debate is going to be how well this conquers the hill up here. I think no matter what engine we have in there, we'd be working at 15 miles an hour. So, not complaining. When it comes to the bigger fields, obviously the machine's going to take some time to work. That's the idea. Just what it is. Not that this field is huge, especially with the, I think it's basically, it's a 10-meter head if I remember right on this. So it's, you know, twice what a normal head would be, which I think is kind of enough advantage out of each machine for what you pay for it. So get a look here at attempting the hill. As you can see, the hill is pretty steep. So hopefully we make it up this without too much problem. Otherwise, we will have to upgrade the engine. Yeah, we'll be okay with that. Somewhere in here we'll be uncovering that skeleton at some point too. That's cool. Alright, digging it. Really like the shelf up on this field, seeing back to the whole field there in the distance. Just like the look of it. Yeah, I think this is going to probably yield us a little bit more peas than our other field over here. Although, surprisingly, they're pretty close on acreage, really. So it should be right around the same. We'll just have to see. But I'm thinking it's going to be around the same, just a slight bit more. And then I suppose it just kind of depends on the year and the yield bonus that you're pulling. Still not around the hedgerow on the oats. We are around the hedgerow on the canola. 40,000 liters there on basically the hedgerow. Turn around and kind of take a look here. Wow, that's impressive. 81,000 liters, and we're still not even. We'll probably be 90,000 liters just on the hedgerows, or just on the hedgerow, single hedgerow. 90,000 liters. And this one's already in the 70,000 liter department. On through that. This is going to be a lot of oats. Wow. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying that's going to be 90,000 liters basically on the hedgerow. That's crazy. Okay, well that's cool. We're going big. It's just like honey bunches of oats for sure. It's bunches of oats. That's crazy. Considering we don't really do much with oats, but it's a nice prep crop because it gets done early, obviously, where it's in July. Only in July it lets us reset this field and do whatever it is that we got to do or want to get into it next year is the thing, or at least the nice thing as far as I'm concerned. And then we're not worried about the straw off the field. We're not going to have to mulch this or anything else, so it's just going to be an easy reset is going to be the idea there. But all right, still a few more harvesters to get going, so we will just keep at it. Heading out of the farm there. Looks like we are going to have to turn around and pick up at least one more thrasher head this month, I think. There's one more of the oat heads. As I think this is the last one we have. Past that, we have 2 corn heads, I'm pretty sure. Definitely have to get out and get heads for all of the combines. We'll be picking up a couple of the corn heads. Probably don't need as many of those, though, as, you know, we don't need everything working on a corn thing at a time. We only have 1 cornfield and 1 sunflower field, so not going to need to stick them all out for that. But having a couple more, or at least 1 more oat head, being able to get them all out for oats or thrasher heads is going to be a thing. I think there should take out a few of these bushes maybe in here. All right, let's drop that, unpack this. This always gets so tight in here to not wreck the field. I probably should have paid a little more attention how I dropped the head. I could have made this easier on myself than this. Though I suppose if we, you know, drive over a couple of grains, it's probably not going to be the end of the world. But we don't plant them to run them over. So there's that. Alright, drop that down, turn that on. And then that should be able to get us out here. Now here's the thing, because this is our wheat. I wonder how much we're going to have to look and see how much straw we actually have. Grass that wants to be shut off. Straw, we still have over 500,000 liters of straw. So we do not really need to do straw, though if we're going to do straw, this is the field that we would do straw on. The thing is, 500,000 has been like our goal, and we're still not below that. So I don't think we'll worry about it actually this year. Wait, that's not what we want to do. Reset that there. Although straw, I think we're going to change our setup for doing some of that anyway. It's certainly a decent amount of money that we could turn around and not be bypassing. But it's also a lot more mulching and the rest of it. Hey, what are you doing? What are you trying to pull here? Drop down and do a hedgerow. You want to go the other way on the field, that's your thing? Okay, I mean, that's fine. No big deal, but again, gonna save us the mulch is kind of the idea there. Just makes it easier. I mean, definitely the straw is worth money, but we have so many fields to do this month that just not gonna worry about the straw too much. We could do it here too. Between all of it, we're probably throwing $500,000 out the window or something, but you know, you can't win them all, and you can only do so much, so you try to pick, you know, where it's profitable and your time is well spent and when you need it. And quite frankly, we don't need it right now. When we need straw, we'll have it. We have 500,000 liters, and we'll definitely be kicking out more straw. So straw is more of a thing for our animals than for, you know, selling for us. Just what it is. We could maybe start baling and selling bales, but again, then you always, that's a fair amount of work, and we're already doing a lot of field work. So, you know, in the future, as we get things into rhythm and know what our timings are, that's probably more of a thing. But right now, we just have enough to try to get through, is the deal. Take a look. Oh wow, we're cruising along here. Alright, so doing this thing. Definitely not just on the hedgerow. Already getting through that, working the up and downs there. Nice. Everything going well so far on all the fields. Not running into any collision problems down here. Although we're gonna say that because you're trying to work the same. We're not gonna sit here and waste your time. You gotta get over and get in the field where you belong, because you're just wasting time doing this. Sometimes they do that. I'll turn around and get this guy set on the right side of the field, and then we'll bring out to probably get that last combine. We are hooking up a brand new header on this one, so we're going to turn around and head it up to that other canola field. Going to be a bit of a drive on the way up there. Another brand new head. I think that's going to do it for combines and headers. Probably 2 corn headers. We may pick up 1 more corn header, I think, but otherwise that'll be it. Honestly, I don't think we probably won't really mess with that much until we at least change our own fields. This year we don't have anything kind of crazy going on between corn or sunflowers that I think is going to demand any kind of extra heads there or anything like that. So for the time being, we will turn around and put in a new rack system when we get everything, you know, when we're not on a harvest month to where we're just trying to move as fast as possible. Says we say we don't have anything crazy going on. There's our cornfield, but you know, 100 acres, that's not crazy. 1 combine can definitely take down 100 acres with 1 header. You don't have to have a ton going on there. We don't have anything big acres when it comes to sunflowers or corn this year, so not gonna worry about it too much with those headers. We'll turn around, get this one is going up into the canola field up here, and then we do still have the new one to get out, which is going to be the poplar harvester down there. So kind of excited to see how that harvester works. The forage harvester, never done that, never used that machine yet, so kind of looking forward to that one. So we'll get this dropped into the wheat field up there, and then I think we'll check in kind of with the poplar field there. Here we are in the New Holland Combine Forager. And we are going to turn around and head this with the poplar head just over here to our poplar field. Obviously, stuff's super tall. It's got a rank right up there with the sugar cane for the tallest crops in the game. Alright, let's check out what we got going on here. So if we get up this, I suppose we're going to need to do a pipe out. Probably lets us turn on the machine there. Okay, that. Let's open that up. Oh, see our combine's off, hauling in the distance. Okay, we got that going. Now let's go up to the head. Probably gonna lower that. Oh, we already had it up and running. Is that it? Oh yeah. Alright, cool. And then I suppose we could turn around and probably get this on like steering assist. Let's just turn around. Let's see how it's gonna look. That trailer gonna be like maybe the wrong setup for this. Of course, the AI probably doesn't have a headache working it, though this is probably not too bad anyway. Yeah, there we go. Well, this should take care of our wood chip issue, although probably not going to be enough for a year. I don't know if this is going to be a big enough field. We're just going to have to see how much we yield. We do know that our bioplastics consumes a lot more wood and shoots out a lot more of that cellulose acetate than like I originally had thought about or planned for. So this is going to be a winner in that department. We just have to actually do some more acreage. Let's take a look at what this looks like from inside. Of course, that's the one place for the front where you'd actually see the stuff shooting out. Why not? That makes... Nope. Wait. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on? Oh, because we're not... Steering assist. Yeah, we just drove that bad boy right into the water. Good thing we didn't... We could have drowned. Whoa. Alright, well. It's semi-submersible. It should, if that makes you feel any better about owning one of these. Semi-submersible, easy to wash. You just drive it into the old creek there. Go about your day. Wow, that was... It's a good thing the cap's high up. It doesn't leak so much. I don't know about the gap in the fence on that side. We might have to... I don't know. It might be worth filling in the fence. That was certainly a danger. So it looks like it just knocks it all down, and then I suppose it just chunks it up. It's just wood bits that we're doing poplar. 30,000 liters. This should, you know, maybe we actually do get a fair amount off of this field. I mean, we obviously have a lot of rows to go. It's not like this thing's working a super wide path, so we may yield quite a bit off of this field. You just have to see. It's going to be interesting. This. Alright, does this mean we're officially actually working every field except grass at this point? Alright, so we will have to turn around and get... Oh, yeah, look at how little the harvest row is. So, we're going to harvest. We should do a decent amount of harvest on this one. Gonna turn around, keep this bad boy going. This is going to be the one to look at this month, though. But gonna turn around and obviously get the grass started so that we can start getting that underway, you know. So here we are rolling up with our new forage wagon. Did turn around and trade in the old lizard one there for a Colossus one. This one's gonna haul quite a bit more. We did set it up for 1 million liter capacity, so this one's gonna turn around and be able to pick up just a lot more off of the fields. We're in the field extension out here. We would have been making several runs with the old one at the 260,000 liter capacity. This one hopefully is going to save us some trips and not have us running back and forth quite as much is the idea here, where we have quite a bit of field extension out here. Turn around and just jump in. Just be a nice cruise along here. Obviously this one you have to do yourself, or you have to AI is not going to go out and pick up your rows for you. So we're doing that. Trying to keep up a little bit with the mower. We still have the other field. A lot of other things going on here. Plenty being harvested. Everything's still going pretty smooth. Just messing with the oat guys a little bit. They're kind of running into each other every once in a blue moon down there, but not too much of a problem. This thing works out great for hauling trailers. The Unimog's great addition, I have to say. Super like those. Multifunctional, of course, as I say that, it runs out of juice going up the hill, but it gets its way through it just fine. So we'll just kind of keep, oh, there's the more over there. We'll just kind of keep chewing up all the fields, and then, you know, I think at some point here we'll start reaching capacities and or clear fields, so we'll have we will have yield totals coming in shortly. Here we are heading out for our first offload of the harvest month here in July. It's going to be our canola. I think both our canola fields are going to end up done first. The one up top is just about getting ready to finish up. Yeah, just up there should be working the last row or two. This one, as you can see, as we're cruising across the field, already all done. So we'll be bringing that over for an offload here. Pull that up somewhere in there. Whoa. Alrighty. Turn that on. Stick the pipe out there. And we'll get our offload going here. Actually, didn't even see how much it was. 300, what do we got? 308. Close to 309 there. Alright, put that one back. This is our original combine. 20 hours on this one now. Alright, let's get that folded up. We can get that folded up. Drop that down. And that'll get this packed up and ready to put away. We'll grab the trailer there and we'll run up and grab the rest of the canola. This one will go back to the farm. But we'll go grab the rest of the canola and see what our year totals are going to be. And that is going to finish up the offload on this one. We'll turn around and just park that up. So that brought us up to, well, 500,000, about 40,000, just about 538,000 liters of canola, which is probably, quite frankly, just about what we're going to burn in a year. So that gets it done. I think we have probably probably between the two fields around 100, somewhere between 120, 140 acres, we'll say, of canola, which is just about going to be our burn rate, I think. We do have about twice as much as we got out of the field last year, but that is probably about what we're going to burn. Right now, both of our industries that burn canola down to nothing. We do have, 10 or 1,000 liters or something like that back at the farm. Just didn't even move it over because it wasn't even really enough to do much with. Actually, I don't think our bioplastics isn't totally out. Like that one, I think we kept running. Bioplastics. Yeah, bioplastics we did keep running with canola. It's just the fuel that we were out of canola, and moving 10,000 liters over to the field doesn't really do much. The fuel burns a lot of canola. The diesel fuel definitely pays a ton, but it does burn a lot as well. It's kind of going to be the goal, hopefully, that we can keep up with the burn rate on the diesel fuel this year. We'll just have to see how it comes out. Bioplastics, we know we need to save 100,000 around for that, and then we can pretty much dump the rest into our diesel production for the year. Again, next year we will have a much bigger canola harvest, I think. Well, I don't even think it. I know it. We're going to set the big field with canola next year, so that should take care of any kind of canola issues that we've had stock-wise on the farm. So I think we're going to get this one full and still have, probably we're in around 500,000 liters. Yeah, 460,000 liters. So that is not too bad to turn around and stick. I mean, that lets us fill our biodiesel 4 times this year, which should keep it up and running, I think, for the year. I don't think we'll have to fill it more than 4 times in a year. We'll just have to see. If we can keep this thing up and running, it shoots out an absolute buku amount of money, though. In fact, we're going to go into this one, and we are going to activate it. We'll have to bring over some sunflowers, though we do still have that in stock. And so 361,000 liters after everything is said and done, we're going to turn around and throw into storage. We're going to throw this one into our industry use storage, which is at the home farm there. The big grain bins out there, that's going to be for mass grain sell-offs, is what's going to go into there. That's just holding for sales. This is going to be industry holding. That way we can just kind of keep it separate and keep it easy. So we'll see once we get it dumped into here what our stock is going to be for the year. I guess we did still have 19,000 liters, so a little bit more than I was thinking. Alright, 380,000 liters of canola going to be our stock for the year, so we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm thinking, by the math in my head, that means we're not going to run out of canola this year. Still not going to have any kind of extra really to be selling. But we are not going to run out of canola. I guess actually we should keep this stored up for a hot minute. Might as well leave that attached. We will still definitely have plenty of other harvesters to get going. Still have to do the grass. The GPS not really working out for the grass or the AI. So cutting the grass and then be scooping that up on my own. And then what happened down here? See, the second I move this over there, now you're over there. These tractors honestly are becoming a bit of a hassle over here for some reason. They're just, I don't know, never had an issue running, and I can't believe on this size of field is where they want to actually act like a pain in the butt. I don't know why. Could just be because of how many tractors I have out running too, who knows. Having a little issue with the GPS here and there. This field's running out fine. The canola field ran out fine. This field not running well, and the grass field at this point really not doing anything. We're just doing that one manually. Well, let me guess. This isn't even the end. You gotta go clean up the stuff. Yeah, you gotta go clean up this stuff. You shouldn't even be over here. As soon as you put one on that side of the field. They keep running into each other over on this side of the field, right? So then I move the other one all the way over to the other side of the field, and now this one wants to go follow him over there too. It's like, don't want to get lonely in the field or something. Just get over here and finish your job, dude. Like, yo, you were the one that wanted, especially because this was the one that wanted to keep running into the other combine, like, all the time. Alright, reset that. Turn off the headlands. We don't need those. You're just working up and downs. And then work the up and down. Don't be dumb about it now. Just put that thing into the field. Come on, man. I got so much other stuff to do this month. I don't need to be babysitting you guys out working such an easy field. That's just silly. Alright, there. They are underway. Hopefully going to get going there. I'm going to jump back over to trying to get that grass, get the rest of that knocked down. We still got to get these combines back home. Plenty to do, and we have to get some field turned over this month. Actually, this field, I believe, is getting planted with canola next month, if I'm not mistaken. So this is actually the big one's got to get done and flipped. So plenty to do this month, and we're just gonna try to work with the workers the best we can and keep things moving along. Bringing in the pea harvest now. We have 523,000 liters. So we did yield quite a bit more off of that field than we did the other one last year. So definitely more acres up there. Better yield, all the above. We'll get that offloaded here. And then this one gets packed up and put away here so we don't have too far to go. Makes it super convenient. We'll just leave that one there. Might as well jump in the Unimog here, and we'll take that over and get it delivered. As the reserve food factory currently out of everything, so not running a thing. Just gonna get it back into operation. You see, I don't think our pallets are even full over there this month. Yep, definitely not. It's completely out of everything. Everything is shut down over here. So we'll get that up there. Start with the offload. We'll jump into, let's see if we can find it. And we'll get that turned back on. 240,000. So we'll get the rest of that stored, and then we'll keep going. Here we are, jumped over into the forage harvester here. We have turned around and filled up the trailer here, so we're going to head that off and dump it. Probably actually should have brought a Unimog over here to grab it. Would have saved us from running around with the big piece of equipment here. Good news is we don't have too far to take it. So we are just going to take this one over, dump it, and stick it back in the field. I can't believe the yield that's actually coming off of the poplars. Again, poplars up new for me, so there you go. But I mean, 1 million liters of wood chips already. So where I was worried about maybe having to plant more, we're definitely not going to have to do that. This is going to be all the wood chips we could possibly use. I'm sure we're going to end up with a massive supply of surplus here. I mean, if we pull 2 million liters of wood chips out of there, we're definitely going to have massive surplus to sell. We know that like January is the month for selling. December or January, I know it's the middle of the winter kind of month, so we will be storing it until then. Which, there we go, we're good. Let's get that dumped here. This is going to be our storage. We have the rest of our peas in there. This is going to be obviously for all of our odds and ends storage. Holds 10 million liters. Hopefully that's enough by the time it all gets said and done. I say that jokingly. It's going to be plenty of room. Just nowhere near did I anticipate. I didn't anticipate the whole field pulling 1 million liters. I didn't anticipate it really pulling 250,000 liters. So if that gives you kind of an idea of where I'm at surprise-wise when it comes to the wood chips, that's just an absolute crazy amount of wood chips. But, you know, always a pleasant surprise when you end up with way more yield than you're anticipating, right? So going to turn around, obviously head this one back to the field and keep it working, and then we'll just kind of keep updated as we start to finish up our harvests here. After a little bit of playing around, we have gotten the GPS working, so it is turnaround and now mowing, and then as you can see, picked it up for the steering assist there on that. We have turned around and surprisingly, crazy enough, filled the forage trailer here, 1 million liters of grass. Really, again, didn't anticipate that kind of yield, but then kind of should have, although I really didn't think it was that big a field extension, but quite a bit bigger field than what we were working before, which means now we're going to have so much grass, honestly, that I don't even know what we're going to do with it, but we'll start selling it off, and I'm sure we can find another use. If anything, we'll just pick up like maybe big traditional silage pit or something like that we can turn around and throw the rest of the grass into. May not be a bad way to go, but turn around and gonna haul this up to the fermenting silo, and we'll get this offloaded up there and get that working, and then obviously continue to clear the field there. Here we are back with one more of the harvesters that is finished up. The wheat field has completed. Looks like it did a pretty good job. Pulled a pretty good harvest. 768,000 liters of wheat. Certainly cannot complain there. That is going to be way more than we had last year and should definitely take care of the stock that we need. So we're going to turn around and fill our bioplastics. We're going to turn around and put another 100,000 or 200,000 maybe into holding for that, and then we will turn around and put the rest of it into our grain facility there. Let's get that about there. Ooh, don't need to turn that off. Gonna need to get this opened up though. There we go. Great yield numbers. That's what we were looking for. So this definitely would be a big enough field. We need to be into this kind of size of field or acreage at any rate for our wheat. 768,000. That is exactly what we're looking for. So gonna turn around and get that dumped. That's gonna let us turn back on the grain and wheat, you know, so like our wheat bread, whole wheat bread, we're going to be able to get back to that, as we have not been producing that now for a couple of months, which should work out great. We'll actually have some wheat in storage for our production. So I'll turn around and get all that done, and then we will be finishing up our last couple of tasks for the month. Alrighty, here we are working just about the end of the oat field. It's almost 300 acres down. This and that there are the end of it. Let's take a look at the whole field here. There you go. Last little strips here. Gotta try to avoid the head-to-head collision that is coming at this point. Then we'll kind of get a look. Not even kind of, we'll get a good look at the offload numbers, which should be pretty impressive for this field. down the end here. Should not be too much of a problem. Giant field. Once you got the two combines finally start working together and stop trying to run into each other, not too bad. You can see we started this field. It's about a 3.5-hour field with the two combines turning over pretty much 100% of the time there. So you know, if you're going to do one field like this with one combine, going to take 7-8 hours, something in that neighborhood, just real world time. 3 hours with the two fields, just enough. We could definitely see adding a third combine into this field. Would have turned around and swung another one over if they were bumping into each other and stuff off of the bat. Again, at the first time the field worked. And I do find sometimes the first time you put them into a fresh field like that, I kind of sometimes go a little silly. So not totally shocked there. I can see next time we're doing this field having 3, maybe even 4 harvesters, and it just again depends on, you know, the time. This field is going to be the one that we have a big turnover. We are going to plant this field next month. We aren't going to have to mulch it. We are going to have to plow it. So just getting through it. Not sure if we're going to have to line this one this year. I don't think so, unless we want to keep more towards a peak harvest. All right, let's get that turned off. Swing the pipe out way too early, but we're going to swing it out here. Nonetheless, 86% full. Just about 87,000 liters, or 870,000, excuse me, liters. Oh, I bet it dumps them in the back of the Unimog right there. This is actually not even going to be able to hold all of it. Holds 1 million liters of oats, it's not going to be able to haul the whole harvest. So that's crazy. We finally pulled over 1 million of a grain. This one should be a pretty good canola field. This should solve our problem with canola. Alright, let's drop that, pack that up. And then we'll turn around and grab that other combine and see what kind of numbers are in that one. Here we are, 1 million liters full on the trailer, and we do still have about 500,000 liters inside the combine there. So again, about what, 1.5 million, almost 1.6 million liters of oats off of that 300-acre field there. Have to assume it's gonna pay a huge amount of money. I mean, at 1,800 plus per 1,000 liters, we definitely have a lot of it. I mean, $1.8 million, something like that, probably in oats we'll have to sell at a peak. Granted, we're gonna have to store them for the next 6 months, so this payment, you know, not gonna pay off anytime real soon, but it's certainly gonna be some great money in the bank. This silo right here, we might as well just call it a piggy bank. Everything we put in here is just gonna get sold off at some point, and huge amounts of money. As you can see, already close to 90,000 of the cellulose acetate in there. That's from our cotton and our wood chips. It's gonna do a ton there. And then really we just have the other 500,000 in oats to offload into here, and then just the grass to finish up. We do have some monthly sales to do, and then what else did we have? Grass sales. Oh yeah, we have a bunch of actual field work, you know, plowing and plowing and preparing to plant is really the thing. So some of that will probably just try to get done in between episodes, otherwise we're just going to get super long on field prep. This field we've seen before, we'll turn around and get at least 2 plows, probably 3 plows in that field and get it turned up, as that's going to be our target so we can get canola in it next month. And then we have to look at, we know we're going to have barley and wheat coming up if we're going to go for barley next year, and then we know our wheat fields go in. So we'll turn around, pull the rest of these out of here, get them stored, and then we'll see what our final grass harvest numbers are for the month. Here we are, just cleaning up the last of the poplar. So getting this runoff and delivered our numbers off of this, and then we have just the very last little bit of grass to finish cleaning up, and that will be our harvest for the month. We obviously are going to turn around and still, like I say, do all that other field work yet. We're going to turn around and plow, at least plow that field. We don't have to mulch. It's actually not as much field work as I was thinking. We do just have the plowing to do, and then you know, some deliveries to make, which we'll make a little bit back. We're at a cool 3 million right now. I think the biggest thing we got going is that we kind of have a double month of the Gorgonzola cheese over there to sell, which would be for quite a bit of money, but not a lot extra outside of that. I don't even know that we're going to turn around and sell that off. Probably not going to save that and just put it into one big sell-off. So I think just really corn, the corn tortillas, in order to keep that from piling up too high and being a pain. Get that up. We will sell those off. So we can get a good look at our wood chips here. We turned around and got 1 million liters in the last load and 753,000 in this load. So just an insane amount of wood chips now that we have. In fact, we should have probably just driven them right into the factory there. But we'll turn around and get these offloaded into our storage, and then we'll grab the final grass numbers. That is the last of the grass. So we have another 939,000 liters in there to go along with the other million. It's close to 2 million liters, which way more. I mean, that's more than double, honestly, what I was thinking. Although it is there. We did add a lot of field compared to what we used to have. Alright, we're going to get that in there, which is going to take a hot minute to unload for sure. We'll turn around. Look in here, we do now have the, we're doing straw, or not straw, I'm sorry, silage and hay now out of this one. As we just have so much product going into it, we might as well. Another one I turned around and looked at in here is that you can turn around. There's a straw to silage, so we really should have picked up all that other straw. We could have thrown it in here and just been producing silage en masse. You can see we're already up back over 1 million silage. We have hay now going into there. No, not hay, into silage. We are drying hay. So grass going into hay. We have 1.2 million liters in there. So if it splits between the hay and the silage, more power to it. We can start selling hay or something on the side as well. Plenty to do there. So then for the month, we just have to turn around and get the tractors put away, this field flipped and prepped, and then kind of looking into the rest of the field prep, but not a lot that has to go on. Honestly, there we're going to turn around and just move some things around and sort that out. So mainly just have to get this field, as we can turn around. You know, our deciding factor obviously there is going to be what we're planting next month, and it looks like canola for the most part is the only thing that has to get planted next month, and then we'll start setting up for this September plants. But that's going to be the plan there. Obviously still plenty of grass to go here. Stock numbers are going up. Farm's doing pretty good. Didn't make a lot of money this month. We do obviously have a few sales to move off, but it's just going to be the bare essentials, and then we'll kind of keep up on the bigger stuff next month when we have a little more time and a little less harvest rush. But I think for the most part, we're going to call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free. They sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.